Hey everybody! What's up? It's Scott the Frozen Gamer. I am back and I'm just finishing up my Magical Athlete Tournament, which you can watch on this channel. So now I'm getting back to my top 100 games of all time. This was my end of 2025 list. So let's get moving on. We're in the top half. We're in the top 50, my 50 favorite games of all time. So let's get started. Let's get moving right away. Get started. I've said this like 4 or 5 times. Let's go. Let's go. And number 50, it was, last year was number 37. It's dropped a little bit. I've played it a lot, and that is On Tour. This game is by Chad Deshawn. It's by All Play would now have it. It was boardgametables.com at the time. And so what is On Tour? On Tour is a flip and write game. And what you do is you flip out 3 cards, and they'll have states on them and then the region that they're in, either north or south or west, central, or east. And you're going to take 2 of them, and you roll two dice. What you do is you take those numbers. So let's say I rolled a 2 and a 7. That will be a 27 and a 72. I have to take 2 of the cards and fill in either any of those regions, 127 and 172. And what we're trying to do is on this map of the United States, which is our board, is we're going to try to go from state to state in a sequential order of numbers. Now, they don't need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, but just from lowest, you're starting at closest to 1, and you're going to finish your tour closest to 99. And then if you can, as I said, each card has a state on it as well. If you can get that, when you place a number in that region, if you place it in the exact state that's on the card, you'll get a little bonus. It's like a VIP stop on your tour. So you get a bonus point for doing that. If you roll doubles, you get to put a star, and it can be any number. This is my son's favorite game. We have played it a lot, and he's really good at it. He beats me a lot of the time. It's a game. It's, you do get better, a little better as you keep playing, as you keep playing the game. It does, you kind of figure out that puzzle a little bit, but it's dice, so it's always a little bit of random. And then what makes the game fun is the tension. At the end of the game, you think you have this perfect plan out, but you need to have like a number from 75 to 83 rolled. And if you don't get it, like half of your tour is gonna fall apart. You're gonna only be left with half. And then, so the other part of the game that's really cool is that you kind of come up with like plan Bs. If I don't get that 75, well, maybe I'm supposed to go off to the West Coast with my 75, but maybe if I don't get that, then I'll kind of curl up through the Midwest instead and then head over to the West on the top, but we'll forego that Southwest route. That would be more optimal and give me more points, but we didn't get the right number. So that's where the fun of the game is how do you optimize those numbers, and how do you come up with like backup routes to help with it. And the game's a ton of fun. As I said, it's my son's favorite game. We play it quite a bit, and it's just a really good flip and right, roll and right game. And I think it might be my top 1 on my list, I think. So that's it, number 50. A little bit, some stats. It has 5.9 thousand ratings, and it has a 6.8 on BGG. And its overall rank on BGG is 1499. It's my number 50. I also know Rado loves this game as well. So that's it, On Tour. My number 49 was number 72 last year. I don't own the game. I did own the game, but I traded it away because my friend owns it, and I only play this game once a year, which is actually more than a lot of my games on my shelf. But we get together, we make a whole game day out of it because it's a long one. It's Twilight Imperium 4th edition. And since my friend owns it, I don't need it, and he has everything for it, all the expansions, blah, blah, blah. So mine got tossed. This is designed by Corey Konecka. Christian Peterson was kind of the original Twilight Imperium designer and the former owner of Fantasy Flight Games. And Dane Beltrami also came in on 4th edition. This is a Fantasy Flight Games game. And so Twilight Imperium, that's the epic space opera game. You are building up your fleet, you're exploring planets, you're conquering other other alien races as you're going around the planets. You're trying to get, not only are you trying to it's a 4X game. So not only are you trying to expand and exploit and all that stuff and exterminate, but there is also a political element to it as well. There's new rules that come out all the time. And so each planet, besides having kind of a strength to it, it has a kind of a political strength as well to it. So you need to use those planets for that as well. There's a lot about this game. You can find out more about it, but I think the last time we played it in 10 hours with a 6-player game, but I have gone up to 16 hours with a different group of friends, and we went and we played it overnight. Now with my current group, we don't do the setup of the board. We just do a random setup that we equalize based off of an online engine. But before, what's cool about the game too is that you can set up your own board, and that takes some time as well, an hour or so just to do that, because you're drafting tiles and you're placing them around the way you want to place them on the board. That's a real fun part of the game as well. I don't play with that anymore because it just takes a long time and it can get very lopsided by people not placing stuff optimally if they don't know the game as well as others, and it just takes a long time, and the game already takes forever to play. So, but it is an experience game, and that's why I love it. It brings me and 5 of my friends together once a year. We get together, we sit down, and we play this game, and it just brings us together, and we have a great time playing it, and it doesn't feel like, we've had a 10-hour game and like 2 12-hour games or something like that, and it doesn't feel like that at all. All of a sudden, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, whoa, where did that day go? And that was crazy because it didn't feel like it was going to go that long at all. So, epic space drama, or space opera, space odyssey, whatever you want to call it, 4X game. Look up more about it if you think it sounds interesting, because it really is. There's nothing else out there like it. There is other 4X games, but none that are just so grand in scale, that are just so giant in scale. So that is why I love the game. Mostly, it's a great game, but I love the experience we have playing it. So that's it. Number 49 for me. The stats are, it has 28,000 ratings. It has an 8.6 rating from those 28,000 ratings, and it's ranked number 7 overall on BGG, which I did not know was that high right now. So that's pretty cool. Number 7, Twilight Imperium 4th edition, my number 49. My number 48 game dropped from 19th, so kind of a big drop. Not really sure why. I think maybe I overhyped it because I like the art so much, because it is probably my favorite art in a game of all time, and that is Abyss. Abyss, 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 if you couldn't hear me behind my lovely looking head here. Abyss. This is my favorite cover of all time. I absolutely adore this. I think that is amazing. It doesn't even say the name on the cover. It's just this ugly mug of this dude, this water dude. So Abyss is this like underwater set collection game that is really cool. It's got this awesome draft mechanism where you're drafting cards. Like one person's the drafter, and they are setting out cards on the top, and people can grab them and pay them money, or they can let them pass. And eventually, if it gets all the way to the end, then the person gets it back or gets that card. The last card, they always get an option to grab a card if everyone else passes. But if it gets to the end of the track, then they automatically get the card. I don't remember a whole lot about the game right now. I've played it like 3 or 4 times, and for some reason, it's not sticking in my brain right now. But for me, the game is art. The game is gorgeous. It has just great art all around. You can see what some of the cards look like in the game. It's just all these beautiful underwater factions. The game is also, I just had a lot of fun playing the game too. I'm not remembering all the details of it, but I had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing it. It has cool little pearl pieces in it as well. So it has this little tactile element. You have these little pearls in the game for components. That's not why I really like the game. That was just a little bonus. I've got to talk about it somehow when I don't remember how to play the game. But one thing I do remember, it plays super smooth. It's pretty quick of a game. And it is also, it has like a 2.3 rating or weight rating. So complexity rating on BGG, and I think that might even be a little high. I'd even go down to a 2 myself, because it's pretty dang simple. The game is really simple overall in my mind. It is by Bruno Cathala and Charles Chevalier. It's by Bombix is the publisher. It has a 7.3 rating out of 17,000 ratings. It's ranked number 435 of all time on BGG. It's my number 48, dropping 30 spots. Again, probably because I just don't remember how to play it, even though I played it. I think I last played it like just over a year ago, but it's not sticking in my brain. But I know I've loved every single experience I've had playing the game. And again, man, this art can't be beat. That's my love of this game. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful production. Abyss. So my number 47 game was number 45 last year, so basically in the same spot, just dropping 2 spots. And that is, oh, this is heavy because I made my own custom insert in it. Dead of Winter. And it's a heavy game anyways because there's a lot of components in Dead of Winter. So this is a game that my old group in New York and I played a ton when it first came out. And I think this was one of the hottest games when it came out, and it slowly, or actually kind of quickly, has kind of dropped over time as being a super hot game. And I think people have saw some of the flaws in it over time. But I still have played it recently, and I had a really good time with it. So one of the big flaws of the game is there is a traitor in the game. You're basically, it's a zombie game. Think, oh my gosh, the one on TV on AMC, The Walking Dead. So think The Walking Dead, because it's really more about, well, it's just about as much as the other humans that as a threat as the zombies. So everyone has your own little group of like 3 human beings or maybe a dog, and you are trying to kill zombies, collect resources, have your own secret goal that you're trying to complete. And one of you, there's like about a 50% chance that one of you is going to be a traitor. Okay, so one of the big problems is that the game, when you do the game, the first player controller moves to the right, or it moves clockwise, while the player turn order moves counterclockwise to the left, like a normal game. So what happens is that the 4th player will be the first player the next turn. So if you are the traitor, you can tank on your turn when you're the 4th player, and then tank again when you're the first player and make it almost impossible to win if you time it out right. So, or make it almost impossible for the good guys to win. So that was a major problem in the game. This is now fixable. It's fixed in the expansion. You don't even need the expansion though. You can just add this rule in, is that you can vote to exile, or you can vote not to exile, but you can vote to not pass the first player marker. So if you think someone's tanking it on purpose, you just vote to not pass that marker. And that way you have a chance to exile that person that you think is bad before they ever get to be the first player. So they can maybe tank 1 turn, but then they're going to be exiled probably, where in the past you could just basically win the game right there. Anyways, the game is so fun. It has some other flaws. It's long, and it can get a little repetitive of like searching locations and stuff over time. But what's cool about the game is the crossroads system. First of all, let's talk about that. Every time one player whose turn it isn't picks up a card, and it says like, if you travel to the police station, if the current player travels to the police station, stop them and read this card. And you read this card and a little story happens. And then as the player or as a group, you have to make a decision of one of 2 usually not so great choices. And that's really cool. The other thing about it that's cool is because it's semi-co-op, everyone has their personal objective. So I might be hoarding certain things that could really be helping out the group, but I need them for my personal objective. So that's really cool as well. And then the other part that's just cool of the game is that it's so played over, like on top. It's a social deduction game as well. That's mixed in there because there's a traitor in it. So you're playing above the table as much as you're playing on the table, but you have to be watching really closely what people are doing on the table to see if they are a traitor. And then there's only like, it's not a built-in traitor, like there doesn't have to be a traitor. There's only about a 50% chance that there is a traitor. So maybe everyone's playing together as a co-op too, which has happened in multiple of my games before. And then you're always like weary, like, oh, I think they're the traitor. And then there's no traitor at the end of the game. The game's hard to win as good. Even if there is no traitor, it's still a hard game, which I think is good in a semi-co-op game. And what's really cool, you can kind of see it on the cover, is there's just a ton of characters in the game. And every character has unique powers and unique stats. And it makes the game it's going to make the game different for you every time that you play it. And then the last part is there's a red die in the game, and you have to do this anytime you travel to a location. You have to roll this die, and when you roll it, there's a 50. There's like one, I think it's a D20, and one side has a tooth on it. And if you get the tooth, you will be bitten, and then your character is going to die, but you have a chance that it might spread it to the next person. So you can try to survive, but it will spread it to the next person if you fail. And then they could spread it to the next person. And then all of a sudden your whole colony is starting to fall apart because like 3 or 4 people have died before because it's spread, when you could have just been selfless and just killed off your character to begin with and not risk spreading it all over the place. So there's really cool tension throughout the game. Tension makes a good game in my opinion. And yeah, great game. It's kind of fallen over the years, but wonderful experience if you've never tried it. Dead of Winter. So this is my number 47. It has a 7.4 rating out of 49,000 ratings on BGG, and it's ranked 251st overall on BGG. And I think it was a top 100 game at one point in time. So again, that's my number 47, Dead of Winter. Oh, and I forgot to say who it's by. So Dead of Winter is by Jonathan Gilmore Long and Isaac Vega, and by Plaid Hat Games. Coming in at number 46, it's dropped from number 20, is another game that I haven't played in a long time, and that is why it has dropped. It's probably been 2 or 3 years since I played it, and that is Nemesis, old school Nemesis, the original base game Nemesis. Came out in 2018. It's by Adam Kopinski. It's by Awakened Realms as the publisher, and Nemesis is Alien, the board game. Again, it's kind of a hidden traitor game in a way. Maybe there isn't any. You get a couple cards, and then at a point you have to decide which objective you want to do. And one of the objectives is killing off another player, which would be the traitor aspect of the game. The other objectives usually are positive ones that you're trying to work together on the goods side of the game. And so you'll have this objective that you're trying to do, but just different things keep happening wrong in the ship as you're doing it. So you're traveling through the ship and bad things keep happening, and then aliens will pop out, and they can be from little aliens to the big mother alien as well, and they'll just pop out. I've heard things can get lopsided. I've played the game like 2 or 3 times. I've played it solo as well over the years, so add that on to the 2 or 3 times I've played it multiplayer. And I've heard that things can get kind of wonky with it, where the big alien can come out right away and kind of just destroy the game really quickly. That has never happened in mine. Mine have always been tight, really stressful ends to the game. I've never kind of had it just go off the deep end in one direction. If you like the movie Alien, this is a game for you because it just feels like the movie Alien. It is, if there's, I don't really get scared by games like I would a scary movie or book or something, but this one has that kind of that scary tension in it that most other games don't. And that is one of the really cool parts about the game. It's just a top-notch game all around. And you're always weary. You're always wary, not weary. You're always wary of the other player in the game. Because not only can they just tank missions, they can kill you. They can just wipe you out of the game. So you're always really wary of the other player around you where they are on the board. What are they doing? Are they going to affect me in some way? What do I have to be worried about? So that is, it's just it just is loads of tension that way. And it's a great game. It has 37,000 ratings on BGG with an 8.3 rating. It's ranked 25 overall. For me, it's my number 46, and that is Nemesis. So number 45 for me is a brand new game, and brand new game to me past year. And why is that? Is because it came out in 2025 and it has jumped right up into my list into number 45, and that is Molly House by Joe Kelly and Cole Worley. I know Joe did a lot of the work on the game. I'm going to talk about Cole Worley because I'm like a huge fanboy of his. I'm super excited about his and his brothers and Kyle Farron's new project, Buried Giant, which is their new publishing company. And man, just listening to him talk, I'm just like always enthralled with what's going on in his head. And the games that he helps design, I know it was Joe Kelly's baby, but Cole came in and helped develop it and design it with Joe. And so anything that Cole has his hands on is going to end up really unique. And this game is super unique. Also, pretty important. It's about gay men in the 1700s in England and going into these molly houses, which were like tea parlors where they could just hang out and be themselves and not be too afraid of being who they are. And so it's a game that the LGBTQ plus community in board gaming is, I mean, the community is not that small, but the community within design of games and representation in games is very tiny. And this is one of just very few games that even mentions it in a game. And let alone having a whole theme about it is, pretty important to have out there. So I just applaud Whirligig Games, who's the producer, publisher of this game, just to, jump on board, and Joe for designing this game. It's good to have out in the world, in my opinion. So what's really unique about this game? Why do I like it? First of all, it's a roll and write game. And you are rolling and moving around the board like you would in Monopoly. Now, it's a little bit different. You have a little bit more leeway in where you go because you can go either direction. And if you get certain types of rolls, you can move further or to any spot on the board, depending on what you roll. So there is a little bit more agency in that than just a traditional roll and move. But that is a roll and move game. The actions you can do are based off of where you end up on the board. The main part of the game, though, is that you go to one of the four corners, and those are where the molly houses are. And when you do go there, you have a party. And you play this little parlor card game where you're trying to lay down cards one at a turn, and you're trying to get little, like, they're not poker hands, but little kind of like poker hands, like a little run or something. And that will give you that will give you points, and different things can happen by what you get with those collectively as a group. And then you have your own little people that you have influence on the molly house that are in front of you, and that can make you more susceptible to when bad things happen to a molly house. It's just really, really cool game. There's nothing else out there like it. It's so unique. And it's so thematic with just both that little parlor game that you play and the roll and move. It just like goes back to like old games, right? Like turn of the century, 1900s or older type of games where you are just rolling and moving and doing what it says. And it just has that feeling. Old card games, it feels like you're playing this old, really old card game when you're doing the parties. And yeah, I've played it solo, I've played it multiplayer, and it's really good. The components are outstanding in the game, and they're coming out with a little second edition and an upgrade because there was a couple things that they're changing, but it doesn't really affect the game. If you get the original, you'll be just fine. And great game. I love it. Important game. So Molly House has a 7.4 rating out of 1.6 thousand ratings. It's ranked 2,164 on BGG, which is criminally low in my opinion. Hopefully that will go up over time when more and more people play the game. It's 45th on my rankings. Number 44, it was number 29 last year. I hadn't played it for a year because I was waiting for an upgrade kit to, the first edition had some errors in it and I wanted it to be fixed before I went in to play it again. So I waited a year or so to do so, and it dropped over that time. But that is my number 44 is Mr. President by GMT Games. It's designed by Gene Billingsley. And so what is Mr. President? It is a simulation style game of becoming a president. And we talked about how Twilight Imperium is an epic space opera. This is an epic simulation political game because this game will take you 20 hours to play. It takes 2 hours roughly just to set up the game. And then it just takes forever to play the game unless you get impeached early, which has happened to me before. And it's sitting on my table right now. And if I wanted to, I'd turn my camera over and you can see everything in the game. There's just tons of cardboard pieces all over the place. And the game, as I said, it's a simulation game. So if you've ever played like a sports simulation game before, like Stratomatic, I play Dynasty League Baseball, but any of those type of games or any like old war simulation game, is what you're doing is you're rolling dice and you're looking at you're looking at charts basically. But there's tons in this one, you know, as it's very modern, it came out in 2023. There is tons of agency in it as well. So it's not just rolling and seeing what happens on the chart. You also have a lot of choices to make. You're going to make choices from all these different sheets that are, I'm looking to see if I can grab one real quick. I can't find mine, but here they are. You have domestic actions, you have military actions, you have your president actions, and you have your diplomat actions. And that's just only a part of it. That's only on certain turns. You follow this little track and it tells you exactly what to do every single turn of the game. And then you go through. What's really cool is it's got all these pretty heavy rules in the game, but it all is laid out. So every time you do a new action, you just flip the book and it will tell you exactly what you're doing. And you flip the page in the book and it will tell you, this is what you need to do this right now. And then you do that and you move down the track and then go to the next section. This is what you need to do now. And so it makes all these like pretty crunchy rules come out to be really simple and really easy to understand. You don't even need to read the entire rule book. There's like a little section that tells you to read right up front, and then you read that, and then you just kind of jump into the game, just jump into the deep end and start playing the game. And then you can look at the other rule book when little questions pop up throughout the game. The game is difficult. When things go bad, they go really bad. And when things are going well, they can go very well until it starts going bad. And that's like a real presidency, right? That's kind of how, it's kind of, ratings always start out great for the president, and then people start losing confidence in presidents. It seems to always kind of be the way that goes. And that's kind of what you're dealing with. And it takes, it's from 2001 to 2020, so it takes like real events over those time periods that happen and can affect the presidency. You have to deal with them. The events come up. It's got a really cool event system where they come up and some of them go away right away, but some of them go into a different stack and they may come back again, or they will come back again at some point where you have to reshuffle those cards and put them back in the deck, and they will happen again. And when they happen again, though, it's not just the same that happened the first time. They happen a little bit differently. You read a different part in there that affects things differently than it did the first time. One of my games, I got wiped out. The game I got impeached, I got wiped out. I was doing really well, and then a pandemic hit. And I did not deal with the pandemic well, let's say, or I did not roll well when I was trying to deal with the pandemic. And things fell apart very quickly. My approval rating plummeted, and I did not get to go through my full 4 terms in the game. So that game didn't go close to 20 hours. But the game is really cool. It's an epic game. It's an experience game. It's a solo game, but you can easily play this with 1 or 2 other people. I've only played it solo. I would love to get someone on board to play it multiplayer with me, though, because I think it would be really fun to bounce ideas off each other as well. And again, it's an experience game, and it's really fun to have that experience solo, but it might be even more fun to have that experience with someone else. I'm not sure yet because I've never tried it. But that is Mr. President. It has 960 ratings with an 8.5 rating. People really enjoy it. The 960 people that have rated it have really enjoyed it. And it's ranked 2015 overall. It was my number 29 a year ago, dropped to 44 this year. That is Mr. President, the American Presidency, 2001 to 2020. Coming in at 43, I'm not going to talk about it that much as well because I just played it. When did I play it? This past winter. So in December. So what month is it? It's April. So 4 months ago. It's already out of my mind. I don't remember how to play the game. And it's a really good game. I really enjoyed it. And I would still, even though I can't remember it, I'd still rank it right around here if I was doing my rankings right now, instead of back in December when I did these rankings. And that is Anachrony. It's new to me. It jumped in at 43. It's by David Turczi and Mindclash Games. And it is... here's the blurb. Use exosuits and time travel to ensure your vision for the future after the cataclysm. So basically the world's kind of coming to an end and you're going back in time to try to fix it. And it's got this really cool moving back in time so you can collect like resources in one time period so you can use them in another, but you got to pay that back at some point. The minis are really good in the game, which is pretty typical for Awakened Realms. The whole production was amazing. My friend Jeremy, whose copy I played, painted all of his minis, which made it even just that much better, because it's always better to have painted minis than gray minis. Even if they're not painted well, Jeremy did a good job painting them. But even if they're not painted well, I always say paint the minis now that I've started to do so myself. And but yeah, I just really enjoyed the game. It's a worker placement game, and I'm always hit or miss with worker placements. I love the idea of worker placement games, and then some of them just fallen flat for me. This one did not at all. This one really shined, and I just had a great time with it. It was super thinky. It was super puzzly. I didn't think it was that complex. I was surprised. It has a 4.00 complex rating on BGG, which is really high. That's a heavy game overall. I'd say anything over a 4 is considered a heavy game. This did not feel heavy at all to me. And I feel like I played many games that were more complex than this one. But it is super thinky. And I think some of that complexity comes in is because you are just pondering. You are in the board thinking about what you're going to be doing and how you're going to do it and what kind of little engine can you put together for yourself to have this work out well for you. That's what I remember about the game. And that's what I really loved about that game, that puzzle, that thinkiness of the game, that crunchiness, and just always being, I love games where you can just sit at a board and just look at it and look at it and look at it and come up with an idea and then look over somewhere else on the board and be like, oh no, this might be better. And then you have to kind of figure out which one's going to be more optimal of a turn for you. I love that in games, and Anachrony had that in spades. And yeah, just a great game. It has a 21,000 rating with an 8.0 and 21,000 ratings, which is really impressive. It has ranked 61 overall on BGG. It's my number 43, jumping in there new this year, Anachrony. I also don't have my number 42 game at all. I don't own it. It dropped 21 from 21 to 42 this past year. And that is because I haven't played it. Well, I did play it. I played it online on BGA, but I haven't played it in person. And I never enjoy games on BGA nearly as much as when I play them in person. I did have a fun time with this on BGA, but I think if I played it more in person, it would have stayed closer to that higher number. That is, let's just say the name of the game, Scott. Come on. It's Fromage. It's Fromage. And I haven't played Formaggio, the new one. So Fromage is by Matthew O'Malley and Ben Rossett. It's by R2I Games, which is Road to Infamy Games. And its cheesemakers compete to run the most prosperous creamery in France. Weird theme. It is a weird theme. I enjoy that theme. I'm from the Midwest. I'm not from Wisconsin, but I'm from the Midwest. I'm right next to Wisconsin. I enjoy my cheeses. So I do like Fromage quite a bit. I like the theme quite a bit. I like the presentation of the game quite a bit. It's this big wheel, cheese wheel, basically. And it is a wheel. You actually spin the board around because there's 4 different sections of the board, and each section has a different mini game, and you're going to play that mini game when it's in front of you. And the workers, it's kind of like this worker placement type of game as well, because you're going to place your workers out into different spots on the center of the board. And how you place them gives you the strength of your action, but it also is how long it's going to take before you get that worker back. So you can place it in the spot that's like a 3 spot, which is going to take you 3 turns to get it back, that worker, but it gives you the most powerful action. It will give you the gold action. If you place it in the 2 spot, you'll get the silver action, but you'll get your worker back in 2 turns. If you place it in the 1 spot, you'll get your worker back the next turn, but you only get the bronze action that you get to use in these little mini games. The mini games have like area majority and like different like set type of things in it as well. And it's just really fun to play the different mini games and to optimize like how you're going to place out these workers to get the strongest action. But will it hamper me to get the strong action by not getting my workers back and being stuck with only like 1 worker the next turn instead of 3 workers to do these mini games with? I might have said that wrong. I realize I may have said that wrong. Anyways, doesn't matter. Overall, the game's just really cool. It has really cool little cows and fruit in it as well because you're collecting those to do this little stuff on your player board. Yeah, the game's just great. It's super smooth again. It's just a smooth Euro style game. And again, your kind of head's going to be in the board. There isn't a whole lot of player interaction in it, player interactions in some of the mini games, but there's so much going on that like just trying to figure out, again, you're trying to just figure out these optimal ways to run things, and it's a great game. Just fun. Good, unique theme. I like the artwork in it. The artwork's kind of weird too. It's like rolling hills of cheese on the cover of the game. And then it's like this pastel-y fruits and cows, and it's just weird, man. But I enjoy it a lot. It has 6.2 thousand ratings on BGG, 7.7 rating overall, so pretty high. Ranked 430th overall on BGG, and it is my number 42, excuse me, and that is Fromage. My number 41 is a game, again, last one on this group of 10, and again, I don't own the game. I just played it for the first time in December. It may have a recency bias. It jumped in at number 41. It may drop over time. I don't think it will go up much more, but it may drop over time. And that is the Network's Primetime. Also, if you have the old version, it's just the Network's. It's the same as the Network's Primetime. And what this game is, well, let's say who it's by. It's by Gil Hova. It's Formal Ferret Games, which was his game company. I believe it no longer exists. So anyways, the game is what you're trying to do in this game. It says TV executives compete for stars, shows, and ads to ensure their network is number one. That's what you're doing in the game. There's little drafting elements in the game where you're trying to pick out, you're buying them, I guess, these stars, TV shows, and advertisements. And then you put them in time slots for your network. And you're trying to get them you're trying to get the TV shows in the correct time slots, and then you're trying to get your actors and types of TV shows that they like to act in. So is it going to be like a procedural, like a police procedural type of show? Or is it going to be a sports like show, like an ESPN type of thing? Or is it going to be just like a comedy? All the actors like being in different type of shows. You can put them in any show, but they prefer to be in a certain type of show. The TV shows do better if they're in certain time slots. The ads just help boost things overall. And then as each round of the game is like a new season for a TV show. So it's been like a year has passed. So the TV show might get a little better in season 2. It might get worse in season 2. And you can always replace it with a different TV show if you want to cancel the show. It's super thematic. It's basically the only game that I know that's like covers acting and TV entertainment in this way, where you're kind of the executive of a channel. And that's really cool. And it's really fun. And everything's a play on word. It's like a play on words of the TV show. So Friends might be called something like a pun on Friends or something. And the actors are like tropes of different types of actors that are out there. So it's very comedic. It's a very lighthearted game. It's a medium game, I'd actually say probably. It's not terribly light. The theme is lighter than the actual gameplay is. It's just a good game. It's funny. And I just had a blast playing it. It was very enjoyable overall. And I say it's a medium game, but it really was pretty simple. And once you got through a round, you just kind of knew what you were doing from then on. And everyone just kind of picked up that game really quickly when I played it. So we'll see if I play this game more, where it will land overall. But I just had a great time playing it. It's right in my wheelhouse of games. I'm a professional actor. So, man, when you get a theme of acting or TV or entertainment of that sort, I'm a stage actor. But any type of theme where it deals with acting or entertainment, it's going to like hit home for me. So that is part of the reason I enjoyed this game so much. And yeah, that's the Network's Primetime. It has 6.9 thousand ratings, a 7.1 rating on BGG, ranked overall at 896 there, but it's my number 41 jumping in there. The Network's Primetime. So that's it for my first foray into my top 50 games of all time. And I hope you enjoyed that. It was quite the array of games there, from light roll and right to super heavy 20-hour-long games, 12 to 20-hour-long games. So that's kind of crazy. We'll see what happens next time from number 40 to 31, and I'll see you then. Peace. Bye. Stay cool.